So I'm going to show you how you can use my raw material brushes. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to start off with brush 7 and keeping the brush on the page, I'm just going to lightly, with the colour black, because it's a transparency, it comes out like this. Across the screen, I'm just going to cover it quickly, like that. And now what I'm going to do on another layer, I'm just going to get a simple pen. What I'm going to do is I'm going to create a big circle, quite thick, lined, and I'm just going to find the centre and snap it into place. Now what I'm going to do is I'm going to tap select on that layer, and then on the bottom layer I'm going to tap clear, and what this will do, it will take away that circle from the bottom layer. And now if I use my eraser tool, I'm going to rub out that middle bit because I don't want this. And then I'm just going to go back to the top layer and I'm going to alpha lock it, and I'm going to go back to my brush set, and I'm going to go for brush 7, and I'm going to tap for grey. And because I've alpha locked it, it means it won't go out of the lines of what you've drawn on that page. So it's a quick, easy colouring in. There we go. So that gives it just a little bit more of texture. And then I'm going to add another layer, and I'm going to tap back to black. And I'm going to go back up to screw number 2, which is a Phillips screwdriver, screw head. And I'm going to tap at the top. And now I'm just going to centre it like so. I'm going to rotate it 45 degrees because I don't like it quite perfect on there. So, and then I'm going to duplicate that, and on the bottom section, I'm going to alpha lock it. So again, you can't, actually no I won't just yet. What I'm going to do is I'm actually going to fill that bottom one with grey. So what I'm going to do, I might just zoom in because it's easier to get it in between the lines. Right, now what I'll do is I'll alpha lock it. So anything that's coloured on that layer won't go out the lines again. And what I'm going to do is I'm going to go for a darker grey, and then I'm going to go to my brushes down here again, and I'll probably just go for number 7 again actually, and just lightly go over it. And if I take my pen off, I can add a little bit more contrast to it, and I can add a little bit more grey on this side, so you can just get a little bit of mottle effect. I'm going to go for the dark grey, and I'm just going to zoom in, and I'm just going to, bit of a thinner. There we go. Might just take it a little bit darker, just because obviously the screw in the middle, the screw head in the middle is just a little bit darker. So then you've got this screw. Now if you just merge them down, now what you can do is duplicate and take it to the bottom. I'm going to give it another rotation, I think a couple of rotations. See if that looks okay. Yeah. And then I'm going to duplicate again. I'm going to take it over to this side at 90 degrees. I think I'm just going to turn it a little bit because I don't want them identical. And then duplicate again. Now take it over to this side. And I'm going to 45 degree that one. Right, so now you've got 4. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to pinch all of them together with my finger so they all come on one layer. And I'm going to duplicate that. And then what I'm going to do is I've gone to the arrow at the top left there, and I'm going to rotate 45 degrees, the duplication, and you end up quickly with all the screws around the porthole, which is great. So now above layer 3, what I'm going to do is, actually no, below, we're going to create another layer, and I'm going to take it below that layer. And what I'm going to do is I'm going to take it to a blue. Let's just go for a dark blue. I'm just going to drop that in. And I've just realised I need to, because it's a transparency, what I'm going to have to do, the pen's transparent, I'm going to have to put a white layer in between. So I'm going to put that there. That's better. So if I just rub out the middle of that again, just realise what I've done, you now have the porthole looking through to the sky. And I think that could be a little bit more moody actually, that blue. So I'm just going to drag and drop, there we go. So now above this layer, I'm just going to create some simple stars. You can spend your time dotting it, but I just created a quick brush for myself to make it faster. So literally I can just tap a few times like this, and there we go. So also within the brushes that come with Procreate, you'll find the flare under, I think it's under, where is it? Luminance. So the flare, and on another layer above the stars, I'm just going to tap it. I'm going to make that bit bigger actually, I don't like that so small. Oh, put it onto uniform. And I've got it behind the layer, which I think looks nicer. I think it looks more realistic. So that's there. And then I'm going to create another layer. And I'm actually going to use my screw tab there. And what I'm going to do is I'm going to create an orange circle. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to, that layer, I'm going to tap it over here. And I'm going to fill that. And what you can do is if you go to Gaussian blur, and then from the left with your pen on the paper, drag it to the right, you can make it a little bit hazy, like so. And then if I add another layer to that, and on this layer I'm going to add a clipping mask. And what I'm going to do is I'm going to firstly just do, oh, sorry, I haven't changed my pen just to normal pen, so I'm just going to tap for a normal pen, take the level down, and I want even thinner than that. I'm just going to take some little stripes of that colour, and we'll go for another type of orange, like that. And I think I'm going to put a little bit of more hot orange in there too, like so. And then what I'm going to do is I'm going to go to liquefy. And now, if I put my pen on it, I've got it 12 right, and I've got it set up quite high. There we go. Quite like that. So I can just turn it around a little bit. And you've now got a planet. And again, if I just add another one, another stamp, we'll do a blue. And I'm going to do it down here. And fill that. Now if you put alpha lock on that, and I'm going to add a clipping mask to another layer above that, and I'm just going to go for darkish green. Just have a pen quickly, and if I just do the clipping mask, sorry, I haven't put clipping mask on that for the one below. You can create the earth or something like that. So there's lots of different things you can do with these brushes, and there's lots of textures and other things you can achieve.